if you don't want spoilers for GrimLord, tune out now. So, a couple of things. So I've started the game again in New Game Plus mode, which I believe arguably makes enemies a little tougher, more numerous and harder, and the bosses harder as well. I have some new glorious armor. We've got the elite guard armor. This armor you get from completing the game for the first time. This is the berserker harness. We've got like a full-on like assassin garb. Each is basically an upgrade of kinds. Yes, tomorrow's launch of All on Board. There's basically an upgrade to each of the basic ones. So that, like, that's the upgraded mage one, and then I've got another mage one as well. So there is, and then there's like, I won't show them all off, but elite guard, black magister robes, enforcer leather armor rather, battalion armor, exiled robes you start with, scout attire you start with, knight armor you start with. So there's lots and lots. Oh, and garment of the high priest, and I don't even know if I've found them all yet. Another couple of things that I've found as well with this is take all of your stuff out of your bag if you haven't got it already and use the Christmas bag. The reason being is the satchel can only hold 5 or 6 potions, whereas the Christmas bag can hold a grand total of 8. Use the Christmas bag. We've got lots of nice little amulets. These don't have a massive effect on the game, but this one increases the amount of matter that we generate by, I think it was 10%. So I always make a point of using that one. And yeah, we've got a new bow. So I've been through a couple of bows now. So this one is the Royal War Bow, which just has some advanced stats. Before that, you get the Oriental Bow. And when I first picked this one up, I thought, hang on a second, is it fucked? Because it loads on the wrong side. The Oriental Bow is particularly powerful, but you have to load it on the wrong side. It is a technique for archery, but I don't know. Orientals, they're always doing it different. But that with a combination of armor-piercing rounds just one-shots knights a lot of the time, which is great. Absolutely great. So, yeah, but we're going to be using the warbow. But the thing that I've found is, it's with archery, it's all about the ammunition. The moment that you've got armor piercing, you are golden. So, and... hang on, where did that go? Oh, there. There? No, there. There we go. And we can start filling up our little weapon rack. You'll see that I've got 2 quivers now, so archery is definitely a viable way to play the game. And then we've been playing around with this a little bit, so a little bit of two-handed play. I'm almost max level. The other thing to note as well is when you New Game Plus, you can get an additional 10 skill points in the game. And let's go and let me carry on a little bit and see if about not getting my ass kicked. So we'll play this for a little bit and then we'll go and do some contractors, I think.
For as long as I can remember, the Black Order's men were on our island.
This guy is the one, for those of you who want to know, that you get the Oriental Bow from. And I'm going for a bit of a berserker build, basically. A bit of a Conan the Barbarian build. In fact, let's fight along the beach. And we'll do some archery as well. So... just to give you an idea, and I don't think it matters too much on the strength stats either, but to give you an idea, that's what armor-piercing arrows are capable of, and we should all know how difficult those enemies can be to fight. And it's a combination of well, it's mainly the armor-piercing arrows that all of a sudden make this a very IDU kind of experience. And I'd go as far as to say, and this is going to shock you, I'd go as far as to say this is probably some of the best archery mechanics that I've come across. And part of the reason is that I can actually, this should be through my right side, right eye, I can actually make a sight picture with this arrow and get hits every time. I could never do that in Undeath Unchained. Never. Because it doesn't work that way. If you put the arrow like that, everything goes like that, and it just doesn't work. Like, you look at some of the best shots in that game, like Beanie, and For the Right when he was actively playing, and they never put a sight picture together. They're never, like, aiming down the arrow like you actually do in archery. And with this, you do. And it's very good. So, for instance, that is a fully armoured knight. Oh, it's not. He's not having it now. I'm hitting him in the top of the helmet, that's why. You still have to go for the weak points, but what I find is that the armor-piercing arrows, because they're designed to pierce armor, they don't break as often, either. And I think it's all to do with the fact that the tip is very... If I get into the light a little bit, the tip, if you can see, is very, very pointed. And it just makes the archery in this game really... I'm not doing a great job of it at the moment. To be fair, the character's not spec'd as much as it could be for archery either, but it just makes the game... Right, let's see if we can bingo this one. Like, you've seen me fight these full plate armoured knights, and the battle can take a very long time, but being able to one-shot them with the archery side of things is just something else. Obviously, we are quite a powerful character at the moment. We've got lots of level ups and lots of good things going for us. But yeah, let's see if we can do a little bit of fighting, and then we'll go and have a look at some contractors. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game through in a particular way. So I want to do a ranger build. So that would be spear, and bow, and it is viable. The only problem that I find with something like this is you have to really methodically slow down. How am I hurt so much? And again, note how quickly, even though my character is very powerful, note how quickly I can be put onto low health. We did switch to GrimLord. Oh, missed. Go for these parts with those guys. Completely unarmored. You can get some very cool kills with that. Can't go through there yet. The levels in this game are quite intricately designed as well. I do want to show off my new toys. Like, so you saw the palaver that we just had with that guy. Ooh, nice buckler shot. Let me try and find a better example. I'm aiming a little high, if anything. There's one. Let's get you out into the light, boy. Are you coming? He's coming. My armor-piercing arrows. If we aim a little low, one shot. And it's one of the other things that I really appreciate about this game as well. I always found it amusing when in IDU, when you make those shots and the enemies go fucking crazy. It doesn't happen quite so much in this, but you do feel like the arrows really have some weight at times when you hit people and you get those headshots. Feels good when enemies that are usually very tough you can take down in one shots. You need to be able to hit your shots, and it's not, as you've seen, it's not particularly easy, but very rewarding. And again, this I'm kind of learning how to fight with. You need to be quite slow and methodical with these two-handed swords, but again, if you can get it going right, it can be. All right. Ah. Just in case anyone was wondering, this is where you find battalion armor. I'm glad they actually show up on the map because I can do some tips and tricks on those. Good, good. But yeah, that's where you find battalion armor. Shortcut unlocked. Lovely stuff. I think we need to go this way now. Or is it upstairs? Nope, it's upstairs. Go, 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 go! Putting your weapons away so that there is nothing in your hand, depending on how heavy those weapons are, increase your speed. That can be very important for just traversing the level, but also some of those harder boss fights where you need to put big distance between yourself and enemies. There's so many little things to this game that I'm discovering as I play, and I'll go on record as saying that when I played this through the first time, and now I'm getting to play it through again in a new game plus, I liken the experience of this to being as good as in Death Unchained's first few playthroughs, where just all the secrets and all the stuff that I'm finding and all those discoveries as I'm playing. That's quite a bold and big claim, but it's a true one. Let me go through here. Have done all this already. We have very low HP, so it doesn't make for learning at its best. So I'm still relying on the bow, just a little bit. Oh, you are still up. And again, I like the fact that a couple of hits, 2 to 3 hits, when I haven't put a lot of, I've put no points into vitality. And a couple of hits, 2 to 3 hits, and you're dead. Just like from anybody as well, this is. Just like a good Dark Souls game should be. Just like a good Dark Souls game should be. Anything should be something that is capable of killing you if you don't play right. So... I think it was here that we were. Was it here that we were exploring in the last stream? And one of the things that I have definitely got to tip my hat to, and I want to make a special point of saying about it, is the level design in these games. In this game in particular, is absolutely fantastic. Lots and lots of places and things are interconnected. There's lots and lots of secrets if you know where to look as well. The developers haven't been shy with letting you get to places that you really shouldn't be able to get to on top of that as well. And it all adds to that level of exploration, which is really very good. Oh, she fell off. Oh, look, check this out as well. I've also found out how to... So, previously, we had to fire that arrow off. There was no other option. You can't, like, de-notch the arrow. But if you drop your bow, it also drops the arrow. And then if we weren't up on particularly gangly planks, we'd be able to pick that arrow up instead of wasting it. So, for anyone who's the archery... that is the way. Drop it when you're holding the bow with an arrow. Drop your bow whilst holding the arrow, and you'll be able to keep the arrow. Or I'll show you. Notched, drop bow, arrow drops. It keeps on going through the wood. Let's go and find a solid surface. Now, that's another. Yep, that's that opened up. So yeah, I didn't seem to like it out there. But so, arrow, notched, drop bow, arrow drops as well. And then you can pick it up. Because too many times have I fired what I thought was the last shot, the enemy goes down, and then I've got this, and the only way that I can get rid of that is to lose the arrow. But if you hold on to the arrow, drop the bow, it'll drop both. And then you can keep your arrows. Because that's part and parcel of the hard game of archery, is you are limited on your arrows. So, and you can get a bigger quiver for your back as well, which holds 50 arrows. It's absolutely wonderful. One shot. One shot. Go on then. Damn, not one shot. Two shot. But that, again, that's down to accuracy. It's all about hitting the lower part of the grill on those ones. Such capacities. Well, this is the thing as well, is the large quiver can only go on your back, but these little ones can go, as we've seen, on your waist. These can go on waist or back. So technically you could have 30 plus another 30, that's 60, and then another 50 on your back with your bow on your back as well. It makes me very excited for a bow build. So I don't think we'll need quite that many arrows, but it's viable. Whether it'll be entertaining to watch or not, I don't know, but hey, I'll enjoy doing it. So, and yeah, I don't know how dark this level is. That's part of the reason why I wanted to have a look at this. I think it is quite dark.
My failed potion, the one that was supposed to
New
cure my
horrors,
brother's legs.
ahoy.
It didn't fix the nervous system or restore life to dead limbs. Instead, it enticed new ones.
Looks like something straight out of Hellsweeper, this one does. Go on then. Give them chance and they become a fucking nightmare, I might add as well. It's really difficult to tell when they're dead as well. It feels like they play dead all the fucking time. They've had me a couple of times doing that as well. Thankfully... Oh, you knew, didn't you? Damn it. Stabbing those is quite good. We have got very good stab stats as well. Go on. Yeah. I don't even know. I don't think that one's dead. Because if they don't disappear, as I've started finding out, they're not dead. And the zombies are terrible for doing that as well. You'll knock them on the floor and they'll just stay down. And I don't think it's a bug either. Do not think it's a bug. So I'll just go over here now then and collect what's in this chest. Got all of the, or the vast majority of the blueprints from what I can gather. So are you like bugged out or are you dead? Now it's dead. Definitely. They don't fight particularly well, but if your poise isn't particularly good, they can really smash your guard down. They're quite heavy. And then we have another variant of them coming up. The enemy variety in this as well. I don't know if you can see or not. These ones are different. Ow, you shitbag. But with your longer reach weapons... I think that one's dead. Yeah. With your longer reach weapons, keeping the point out in front of you, because they'll literally just launch. Oh, yeah, I've got something to show you actually, Decrepit. You're gonna love this. Oh, I've worked. I can't remember who was asking about it as well. I think it was Poise. I've worked out how all the sword art stuff works. Basically, long story short, it needs to be a boss weapon that already has an ability on it, and then you can change it from one to others. So I've got a particularly good... Yeah, fucking... There we go. Lovely stuff. Any more? Yeah. Uh-oh, that's too many. More, that's another set of armor there. There are a lot of sets of armor in the game. I was using the whirlwind one. Thank you, Vaughn. I was using the whirlwind one because it's just funny. I was really enjoying it. But, yeah, this is... That one was one of the harder bosses that I fought. The boss, the second to end boss in this, is one of the toughest, most memorable fights I have ever had in video gaming, let alone VR. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, check this out, Decrepit. You'll like this. So, we have a new bow now, the war bow, and we have armor-piercing arrows, which are very, very capable. That guy's full plate. Damn it. Oh, I can't do it now. Can't do it on demand. That guy's also... Look at that. One shot on a full... That battalion armor is better than full plate as well, as far as its armor values to the face is concerned. And my arrows are not breaking. So, but yeah, armor-piercing arrows and much better bows are very much a thing on the cards, which I was awesome. I was very happy to see. So I don't think it's spoiling too much, because obviously you didn't know, but for me to tell you that the good stuff, and then that has been the story that, oh yeah, I did tell him, to be fair, but so arrow in warbow, if you keep hold of both the arrow and the bow and just drop the bow, the arrow drops as well, which then means that you don't waste it. So I did message him about it, whether he saw it or not I don't know, because it was definitely something that was annoying me whilst I was trying to play with the bow and arrow mechanics in this and conserve ammunition. So, but yeah, this is a new game plus. I've been through the game and completed it. I've put about 40 hours into the game thus far. I've really gone to town on it. What can I say? Right. But yeah, here's an example. Here's a good example. Here's a better example of where we're at now. A little better example. But again, I don't want to spoil too much for DG, because you know the discovery track on this game is so good. Hello, K2. No, I just played it off stream. Hello, K2. So yeah, a combination of armor-piercing arrows and a build that's leaning into it's leaning more into our two-handed. This is a new game plus as well, so putting things down with single shots is still difficult. The thing is, yeah, the sailing game's all right. But it's, I suppose the problem with the sailing game is there isn't a lot for me to show you, and it's more of a game of about doing than it is showing off. So, but it's all right. You know, I paid £7 for it. So, if anything, it's encouraged me to have a look at potentially other sailing games, as Fawn was talking about. So maybe... Ow. I will have a look at sail. I don't want to be fighting you. Yeah. Well. Hey, it was a good experience. But yeah, so note these enemies are harder now. What I was finding is with the build that I had... I don't have a bow. Right, Decrepit? Decrepit gets it. So, as I said, we're in New Game Plus, so I think everything just naturally has more health now as well. Oh, they're just falling from the sky now. But, like, see if I can give you a better example. Like, look at this guy. Ah. Yeah. Da. One shot. And that's on New Game Plus. If I can hit that necromancer in the head, we'll be able to do him win one as well. So yeah, it's becoming, so basically the long and short of it, I am fine. And getting those one shots at distance in this game is more satisfying, I would say, than IDU is, and IDU is satisfying enough. But yeah, come on. Oh man. The problem is, hang on, why is it not? There we go. The problem with New Game Plus that I have is New Game Plus, you start at level 30, it adds up to another 10, you can then get an extra 10 levels on top of that as well. Ah, fuck. You can get an extra 10 levels on top of that as well, and you have all of your kit and your equipment. So yes, it's harder, but then it's also easier because you have all the cool stuff. It's so satisfying. Just one fucking tapping things with bow and arrows at distance, like fully armored targets, is very good. If you got it too soon, it would make the game even easier. But then, like, you know, I didn't have any problems with the difficulty of this when I played it when it was just a demo back in the day, and it is a crying shame to have seen it been reduced. And what I believe New Game Plus does is it raises the level of difficulty to how it was previously, but the problem is you kind of then overpowered at that point anyway. But it's still worth another playthrough because you can collect all the stuff that you missed, and you get to go through the game and play it a different way if you want to. I'm gonna make a point of starting this game from new game each time, so I don't know yet. Like, this is my New Game Plus, and I'm barely anywhere. I'm about halfway into my New Game Plus, I think. The one thing that I can tell you is there is an absolute multitude of blueprints in this game for parts. Yeah, I'll show it off quick. Hang on. And yeah. I haven't even bought Batman. I will get it when it gets reduced, but I don't feel the need to get it at the moment. I think they said that they're dropping the arena mode for this at some point. That may provide the sort of challenge that you might be after. The thing is, though, I'm not ready for that level of challenge yet because I haven't really learned the techniques of a lot of the enemies. So I mean, some of the bosses, again, that all depends on your play style and how you've leveled up. Some of the bosses for me were a pain. Like the second to end boss of this game was a nightmare for me. It took me a good 10-15 attempts till I got him down, and even then it was by the skin of my teeth. And it was such a good experience because it was fucking hard. Fucking hard. It was really good. So yeah, that is what we up... Ooh. Oh, get off. This is what we up... That weapon rack as well, how I completely missed that. So, last time I was playing... not having bows on there. Last time I was playing, you would have seen me wielding that, which is... So there's nothing special about it, except that it has a lot of length. I think they are planning on, and then we upgraded to this one because it has a different profile. It's just more powerful, and then I really started pushing into slash damage. Here's another very cool thing about this game as well that I picked up from one of the shorts that the devs put out. If you hold trigger with your hand whilst gripping and then let go of grip, you can adjust your grip without letting go of the handle. And I've been finding myself being able to do that quite nicely during the thrill of in combat. And it's just, yeah, it just works real nice. So that's hold trigger, holding trigger, then let go of grip. You can only do it with one hand at a time, but then you can reposition your hands. I mean, it's probably still faster to just do that, because that whole trigger thing isn't in my muscle memory, but the fact that it's there is just, yeah, real nice. And then on the halberd side of things, I went from that to sticking with the long shaft theme. So as you can see as well, there is an absolute plethora of blades and handles and grips, like the fucking days. All sorts of shit. Now, I'm pretty sure I've found nearly everything. I've definitely bought everything. Like, these are all the different kinds. Like, look at this. Look at the amount that's in this game. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I started using that and the good old... Unfortunately, I didn't find an engraved long shaft, but I started even... If you should be able to see that. I started using that.
It's not a place to toy with, and it's
I won't bother making it up. And another thing that I really was liking as well... I haven't even tried that, actually. We'll try that. Another thing that I liked as well, I didn't even think about doing this until it occurred to me the other couple of nights back, is if you put both weapons on the floor and point at both of them, it puts both the stats up in front of you so that you can compare and contrast at a glance, as opposed to doing what I was doing previously, where I was looking at one, finding out what the stats were, trying to remember them, and then looking at the other. The fact that you can point at both and get them both up in front of you is just fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, you can, Decrepit. So we're there, trigger, yeah. So that's going to be something that's going to come into quite its element with axes. The only problem that I can see with that, though, is that's really going to speed your blade up, and I don't think the hit will connect. I mean, I've got the perfect tusk dummy. Okay, it connected. That was good. So, I've the armor that I'm currently in gives me a strength bonus. Okay. I mean, she kind of is, because I can hit her with very little consequence. The strength that I've put into as far as my skill tree is concerned, and I'm not complete yet, my strength is at 80. 5 of that is from the armor, and yeah, it just allows me to one-shot her, which is really nice, because that usually takes 3 or 4. So, for those of you wondering, hand-to-hand is actually, when you get the level ups put into it, quite viable. And I also thought as well the old 1-inch punch was fucking class. So that's literally holding your fist out in front of them and then just bouncing into them with the dash. So, and as somebody who enjoys my martial arts, I can see myself having a go at trying to play this game unarmed. So, but yeah, no, that's a good shout, actually, Decrepit. I only thought about using that to move the grip, because the problem with it, it's nice to see, but the problem with it is it's quite an intricate movement. But I suppose, yeah, kind of. Instead of holding grip, you could hold trigger, and then that's a little bit easier. But that, for me, that's going to take some memory. It's still an easier task, I think, to adjust by just tapping grip, but it's nice that it's there. But yeah, that's going to be a great one for axes, I think. So, but yeah, but I'm practicing with it. I'm trying to get into the swing of things. Trying to get into the swing of things. But yeah, so it does work. But as I said, my fear would be that it might speed the attack up too much. And as we know, if you go too fast in this game, you phase through, which is probably the most disappointing part about this game. But once you get, and it works differently with different weapons as well. Like, I haven't had that problem with the halberd, because I don't know why, but the halberd seems to work really well at the speed. Yes, there are. There's ones that do additional damage for, unarmed. There's a couple, I think. There's at least one, and then you could put a lot of points into strength as well, so that would definitely be a thing. But yeah, that's what I'm practicing with at the moment. I did like the fact as well that you could go for quite a high hold on that, and then change it to a low hold during the swing. I suppose that could help you hit potentially. And you can almost go for a double clasp, where you're interlacing your fingers as well, using that side of things. Yes, possibly. Hey, the thing is, though, martial arts is my thing. One of the other things as well that I've found, I think Decrepit mentioned it, is that if you can floor an opponent, you can then grab them. Now, the thing is, I don't think it's intended. You are able to, there's goblins that come in the game later on, and you can grab them out of the air when they jump at you because they're only small. If you hit somebody and you break their balance or their poise or stamina or however the system works, you can then grab them. You can grab them for a few seconds. And it's not very quick. And the problem with that is trying to grab somebody once you've broken their poison, knocked them over, whilst you have a weapon, unless it's a one-handed one, is quite a difficult proposition. However, doing that when you are unarmed, well, that should be my bread and butter in particulars. So I think that's going to be... I think it could be quite fun, because it isn't just going to be about punching. We're also going to be able to throw and toss. So, providing I can, you know, break poise. So, I'm trying to think if there's anybody that I could do it on now. But yeah, I don't even think... Yeah, it doesn't even need to be a headshot. We are very powerful with our fists. But yeah, I've got a ton that I need to show off in this. And it should be a lot of fun.